It's another hard-hitting segment of Trust Tuesdays. I'm Dave Morris, along with Kit Letcher, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau at Central Oklahoma. Lady, it's always good to see you.
Thank you.
What is new?
We're talking about cybersecurity this month, which isn't ever new, fortunately.
It's been in the news big time, national politics, national companies, international companies, just to regular people like us. You know, that is something that affects all of us at some level, and she's right, it is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Sorry, Paige, I'm jumping all over your cameras here. We're going to talk about how privacy is good for business.
It is good for business.
And Kit, I'll let you take it away. That personal information may be good for the business, but it's also valuable.
It's really valuable, but it can also be a threat to your business, because if you collect a lot of information from your consumers, people that you do business with, then you are responsible for all of that. Making sure that you keep it, you protect it, you safeguard it so that other people can't get to it, because that's what, as consumers, we want to know. If I give you my credit card number, what happens to it? What are you going to do with it? And we feel this very acutely at BBB because we have accredited businesses that pay membership dues, and we take a lot of credit card information. So we know how vulnerable that information is. And we work really hard to safeguard that.
That does seem like the thing on just regular websites you go to these days. They're always asking for some sort of, hey, send me an email address for verification.
Right.
And a lot of that is just tracking personal information so they can perhaps send you a coupon or something. However,
Right. It does add a little bit of vulnerability to those consumers. And so part of that's actually really good is that two-step verification process. You know, you don't have robots going through and just adding in all this information and then trolling websites. You know that you're really dealing with a real person. As a business owner, that's going to be important, and that you have verified information from that business owner. So you have their authorization to do business for them.
what are some of the ways that businesses do collect information? The obvious thing that we mentioned was credit card information, but there's all sorts of.
Right, and I think the primary resource is really through their website. So when you give your name, your phone number, if you're asking for a bid on something, or I want more information on this product that you sell, even, just basic notes. What is your hours of operation? And so when the consumer is feeding that information to the business, then it just opens them up to being able to collect a lot more information from that individual. And that's where a business has to be really careful in making sure anything that they take in, they're really protecting and safeguarding.
There you see some bullet points, nicely provided, snuggets of information, if you will, by our friends here at the Better Business Bureau. And some of this is perhaps creating a culture within the business. Hey, you guys are dealing with people's personal information. This is valuable stuff.
Well, and what's interesting, I was talking to a business owner the other day, and they said they had a group come through and actually audit them to see what employees were leaving on their desk. Because somebody can walk through your office. You never know who's visiting your building. And so if you have credit card information, personal information, personnel information on your employees just sitting out in the open where people can get to it, obviously we worry about cybersecurity, but just even basic maintenance of your desktop, your physical desktop, not your computer desktop, but making sure that information is protected also is a really good practice to put in place. And making sure that your office has privacy policies to know that that's information we need to safeguard on all levels and make sure that we put it away.
So that due diligence could be from the digital side of things, but then also, hey, you have some paperwork of numbers on desks. And then creating some oversight to make sure, okay, let's have some systems in place and follow through with
We need to shred this information with a certain amount of time. You need to make sure that it's under lock and key. It's not accessible to all employees if it's very personal information. All of those things need to be thought out by a business owner or even their staff. And they know what their job functions are probably better than other people. And so looking at all of those different avenues where somebody could take that information is going to make them a stronger business.
What about privacy notices? We see that all the time on something you fill out or on a website. That may not be the end all though, right?
It's typically not. I think it's pretty much a first level line of defense, if you will. And I don't know that a lot of business owners really take it to the next level of saying, you know what, you've given me your credit card information. I just want to make sure you know from me that we are not going to share this information. After maybe we get this processed and put it into our database, we're going to shred this information depending upon how you take it and receive it. And just making sure that people understand how you use their information, how you collect their information, if you sell their information, because I know I get a lot of catalogs because I've purchased through certain companies and they sell my information. I'm probably not going to continue to do business with them because I don't want these other individuals to have my information. I didn't sign up for their stuff. I don't want it. And so that's a really good way for business owners to establish trust with their consumers or other people that they do business with, of saying, I don't sell your information. We collect it, but we safeguard it and we keep it very private. And also even letting them know if you do any vulnerability scans on your own business. We do scans quarterly for our business, and making sure that we're not vulnerable from external threats or internal threats. And so anything that comes through our firewalls is protected, and knowing that if we do have a threat, that we're going to establish what that is and really take care of it immediately.
Good stuff. You saw there on the tips there of how education, that's exactly what Kit was talking about, to educate your customers of, hey, we are taking steps X, Y, and Z.
Right.
To one other point you mentioned, I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, was in Nordstrom's, got home, a day later a Nordstrom's catalog shows up in the mail. It was coincidental just because there'd been some online shopping, but that was like...
It feels a little freaky.
A little creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
Kit Letcher, she's the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Central Oklahoma. You guys are involved in a lot of things community-wise. I know you have the Tuesday Talks, I think that's what it's called. Anything coming up?
I think the next thing that we had scheduled was Kelly Dyer Fry was coming in to do a talk
Heard
on...
of her?
Yeah, pretty big deal. And we had some scheduling conflicts come up, so we had to cancel that. But we're really looking forward for her to come in next year
about the
and
state of the
be
industry
part of
and
that.
things like that.
Absolutely. And just how things change in our community and our economy. So how business owners can react to that.
Very good. You saw the website online earlier as we had those nuggets of information there. The website bbb.org/Oklahoma City or oklahomacity.bbb.org as it turns out. Kit, always good to catch up with you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the information.
Yeah.